After Rockefeller broke up, a lot of the artists from Philly went their separate ways. Some went with Jay-Z, some went with Dame Dash Music Group. However, Dame Dash Music Group never came to fruition. So it's kind of just like a quiet period. Gilly would leave Cash Money Records and a feud with Lil Wayne. Freeway and Beanie Siegel would release albums in '07, but it didn't have the same effect as a half a decade earlier. So a new wave of MCs would emerge and come up with their own ways to promote their music, and it was more raw than anything. See, the internet got extremely popular, and so did YouTube. So young, hungry, up-and-coming artists in the city decided, hell, we might as well throw our music, videos, battles on that platform. Also, at the time, Cassidy was in a real bad accident and was caught up in some legal troubles. However, this would be the beginning of something called the DVD era, which was big in Philly, and naturally it went all over the country. Now, Reed Dollaz lets everybody know he was the first rapper on YouTube, making sure Soulja Boy understands who put it down first. Now, Reed and a couple other artists got the city buzzing by running around battling each other, and the world went crazy watching. On that grown shit. Y'all got cars and clothes and do it for the bitches. We play hard jars and rob dirty biscuits. Bitch shit, I'm talking about man eaters. I want to touch your man, you can't do that. Nobody likes you, you make me want to fight you. Look like a fat ass turkey, I want to fight you. I don't even know the reason I had to fight you. Just another one of my sins I say goodnight to. This take me back to D-Block when they came hard at G-U. Kind of bizarre, the burn got hell in a Slim Shady dude, plus the D got 12. Now, right there, you heard him spitting some bars at Joey Jihad. But the battle that intrigued me was the one versus Meek Mill. It's just crazy to think that DVD era, how phenomenal it was and what it did. You didn't know at the time it was opening up doors for this current internet era. And Reed literally put his freestyles and battles on YouTube in like 2006. And people knew about battle rap, but battle rap was more something you had to hear on a CD or a mixtape. Now, from the DVD era to the YouTube era, battle rap is getting just as big as like industry rap. It literally went from battle rapping to get a record deal, battle rapping to get on, to now battle rap is its own individual niche thing. Like it's its own genre in rap music. Like you had heavy metal rock and roll, and then you got soft rock and roll, you got hip hop industry, and you got battle rap. Now, I have been heard of Murder Mook and T-Rex from the late night MTV2 stuff, but this just made battle rap like, yo, I want to be a battle rapper. Like F making a song and being on the radio, I just want to be a battle rapper. Now, I want y'all to check out some of these first battles. It was a time when I was in school at the time. I would just come back home to Philly for holidays and things, and I would talk to my friends because they was big in hip hop and the part of the country I was from, and they kept telling me, yo, all these dudes from Philly, this, where Southwest Philly at, where this and that, where North Philly, where West Philly, this, you know. So it was cool because everywhere I went, people was talking about it. But the crazy thing is, I want y'all to look at one of the first people he battled. See, at that time, I thought Reed Dollaz was going to be the next to go like mainstream. Reed Dollaz still a legend because he's mainstream for battle rap, but he went to battle an individual, and I'm gonna let y'all see who this individual is real quick.
You see me, I'm in a hood, nigga. Hair fucked up, whatever. I ain't sign, I ain't gotta shine all the time, nigga. We gonna get this fucking money. You niggas clowns like Ringling brothers. I'll ring on your brother and strangle your mother. You the meaning and sucker for weed. Them chicken squeeze, give you eat like an oven. From now on, we don't need no discussion. Let's go to war. Cause I be drawing the hand cannon, get head damage. I play it, your man pen.
It's like, yeah, it's me, fuck the introduction. Southwest in this bitch, we don't run for nothing. Running your gums and get you stuffed in the fucking oven. I see meat, I see a bitch, I think nothing of them. Fuck them, cause when this shit get critical, I'm gonna put a bullet in his head, very fucking individual. All in his ass, get his bitch a little physical. Stop getting your man's the jury, do what men would do. Listen, pussy.
See, I'm really glad this beef never went street, it just stayed hip hop. But that also was a time when we still had old heads and OGs in the hood. It was right on that borderline before they sent them all off, and it's just been kids guiding kids. See, the focus at that time was just getting out of the hood and getting a record deal still. Even though it was transitioning, that was still the main focus.
Yeah, really, man, that shit ain't about now. That shit like wrestling match, son, man. Shit popping, but you ain't getting hurt from all that talk, man. That shit ain't about nothing, man. Shit all game, man. When you see Reed Dollaz, ask himself that shit, he gonna tell you the truth, man. All them little DVDs that be coming out, man, that shit ain't about nothing, man. Niggas really know how I do out here, man. Anybody that knew me know I run around with real niggas all day, like real type of niggas that do something to you, hurt you for something, man. That rap really, shit ain't about nothing for real, man. All spin. That shit getting my name out here, getting his name out here. Saying you gonna see us on shit in the future though.
That shit just when y'all met up down my end and shit, like when y'all met on 2-4 and all.
Yeah, that was the first time I seen him since that battle and shit. I was at the car, Eddie pulled me to the side, like I'm saying, we gonna squash that thing I already talked about it, whatever. So it was squash from there on out. Then that DVD come back out, that drama shit come out piping it all up again. You on there talking a whole lot of shit. His man and them on there.
I don't think Philly really understood the history they were making at that time. I don't think they got that in the future it would be people that would literally use the internet to diss somebody, shout out their hood, or make a song. This literally set a trend on how hip-hoppers from other cities come up today. How people who are rappers or in hip-hop make their name for themselves. That era from the DVD to the internet, Philly should get all the props for that. Because at a time when record sales were different, the only thing you heard at that time was Lil Wayne and then Jay-Z making his comeback. Couple of bubblegum rap was doing alright. T.I. was popping. Boosie had just really got popping, but then we know Boosie ran into certain things, and then Jeezy was alright at the time. But just that raw, gritty hip hop and not having to go through a label for people to know your name, Philly basically gave a blueprint to the rest of the world. Now it's to the point you don't even go to a label. You just put your stuff on the internet, and then from the internet, the labels will contact you depending on if you want airplay or not. Most importantly, think about everything that popped from that. World Star Hip Hop, I could go on and on. Incredible time. Any up and coming rappers, I want y'all to look at Meek Mill at this time. No ice, no jewelry, he was just hungry. See, this is why he gets respect, not only from the young generation that looks up to him, but also the older generation like Nas, Jay-Z and them, because he had to fight for his. You had to be a real spitter, real lyricist. You couldn't just make a beat and throw it together and it sounded good. You had to be really talented, man. So young and up and coming artists, always refer back to this Meek Mill when you're trying to get in the game.
Dig it. Yeah, you heard what he said. I'm on the fucking paper route. Quick to take the neighbor out. 40 with the laser out. You niggas eating just to have in the feast. My niggas wilding out, catching homies, stabbing police. Cash rule everything around me. Everything I see, everything I touch, robbery's a must. You niggas.
As of recently, I seen Reed Dollars is still battling. I remember a cat from Jersey was just saying how he looked up to Reed Dollars, and Reed was actually about to battle him. So that's excellent. Reed Dollars still getting money almost 2 decades later after just breaking the internet with this whole battle rap thing. Next up is Joey Jihad. Next up is Joey Jihad representing Let's Go, Joey Jihad. It was literally a time in Philly where no matter where you was, if you loved hip-hop, and this is when YouTube first got jumping, before everybody got on YouTube, everybody wanted to know what the beef was between Joey Jihad, Meek Mill, Reed Dollars. There's a couple other people I'm going to give shout outs to, and then I ain't forget about a lot of people I'm going to give shout outs later. But these 3 names was no matter like what city I was in, where I was at, like they always wanted to know when's the next Joey Jihad, Meek Mill, or Reed Dollars battle. And honestly, I knew one of these 3 would make it big, like mainstream, but I didn't know which one.
Look, Taliban, strictly diamond. Yo, everybody know I spray gas. So if I kidnap Vanna for that white, Pat won't say jack. Operation Safe Street on the block regardless. Shorty quick to grip his 40 like an alcoholic. Shoot me, I'ma drop them charges. I ain't into the court like Ali. He be shaking when you lifting his torch. Week later, pit 10 in your porch. You like it keep coming back like genital warts. Drop sickening, tail shaking, hot system. What the ball now you trailblaze, Scott Pippen. Yell just half open like pistachio nuts. I'm a mixture of SP, Jigga and Pac. First nigga with ice on the digital watch. Thinking heist when I find out bricks in your spot. For the trying sex out dimes, accurate, letting let out mine. Get my heat do rise, knife on the front, put the heat through guys. Sight sickening, night vision, I can see through God. You harder than styles, I got a gun, sheet loose size. I heat you guys, I'm not boxing, I'm too little to shotty.
Now you even see Beanie Siegel in the background, impressed with Joey Jihad's flow at that time. Now, let me give a shout out to NH, because he was another one of those dudes that was in the mix at that time, making noise around the city.
Leaving him in chalk, slicing down the middle, ripping him apart. He gon' see the light when I stick him in the dark. I love to use the 8, but I'm sicker with the law. I got a message, nigga, pardon me. I understand they bloodhounds, but why the fuck they bark at me? Like they ain't notice I'm a pit. You want war, get a grip. Before I grip on your neck and make you choke off your spit. That nigga, he a bitch. That nigga live. The push come to shove, I get that nigga killed. Meek and Mel Love, better tell that nigga chill. Before he need them bloodhounds for real. You dig me? I flow too swiftly. I'm going in my bag. This nigga Lil got a problem. He look older than my dad. You flow like a pinto. Yours like a jag.
Before we transition, another guy I got to give a shout out to, Philly Swain. Y'all support his one-time video. Swain definitely put it down in battling also. Now, while battling DVDs, YouTube and all those things was going on back home in Philly, it was another Philly native that went down south and got his buzz up as a DJ. And he started appearing all over the place with hot artists from Atlanta, New Orleans, you name it. Now, DJ Drama, born in the late 70s in Philly, not far from my neighborhood, Germantown. And he actually went to the exact same high school as Cassidy. He started doing mixtapes. They said when he was about 14, his sister took him up to NYC, got him his first mixtape, and he started spinning and learning how to do it from there. He had Ill Delph mixtapes back in the day with Black Thought, Dice Raw, shout out to Dice Raw on it. And from there, he just kept vibing. So after he graduated from Central High, he moves down to Atlanta. He attends Clark Atlanta University. There he meets DJ Sense and Don Cannon, who also just so happened to be from Philly too. Now in 2003, the three DJs would create AMG. They would later be signed and distributed through Asylum. Now, before he got super popping, he created that Gangsta Grills. And the first situation with him was when he had T.I.'s mixtape popping in 2004, and then in 2005, Young Jeezy. If anybody remembers, 2004, 2005 was kind of the becoming of that Young Jeezy, T.I., Boosie, that kind of era where they started making waves in the industry. And DJ Drama was a big part of getting those guys going. And of course, at that time, BMF was in Atlanta and everything. Now, by late 2005, DJ Drama's hosting his own radio show in Atlanta. He's also on Shade 45, XM satellite radio. But what really took Drama over the top was that Dedication 2 Lil Wayne mixtape. That Dedication 2 is what set the stage for the Carter 3 to be exact. Now remember in 2008, Lil Wayne was on top of the world, and he always gave Jay-Z a shout out in all his music. Kind of what made Jay-Z come out of retirement for a minute when he made that comeback in 2009. Now, Drama had his office seized and a whole bunch of crazy stuff happened with the feds. Y'all can check out the Netflix documentary if y'all want to get into that. But let's check out a snippet of one of the videos that I first saw from Drama.
Like myself, this here, man. Hey, bud, let's go. I got a 66 bottle so fresh, white top, bird drop, with the on deck, new and off, and a motor out of 94 bed, fish bones raised up like that the Dre 6-4. Hey, come up in my hood, bet them chickens no chill. If you tell them you would.
Shout out to T.I. for letting him drop his joint on Grand Hustle Records in 2007 after the raid. Now, since his breakthrough in 2004, 05, DJ Drama has won many awards, many accolades, been on countless mixtapes, been a part of incredible hip-hop moments, discovered another Philly phenomenon who I'll talk about in another episode. But my favorite,
ATL, we getting the mix CDs jumping, steady club.
Get to it, don't let them see the spot. Next thing you know, you're looking for a rent sign, upper echelon. When I touched the rock and I cracked the block, when I pulled up in that mustard drop with that roof off and my shoes off for y'all bitch niggas. Roof off, I get body. They told me get him, I got him. Now I'm here, nigga, like yeah, nigga. This Rolls Royce and Bugattis and M4 this year, nigga.
now, if waiting on that moment didn't inspire you to get up off your ass and do something with your life, I don't know what will. DJ Don Cannon was born in Philly in the late 70s. He's actually from the other side of town, West Philly. And you know the backstory. They met down in Atlanta, all went to college together. DJ Don Cannon has been on everything you can think of as far as producing. Now, just to give y'all a little taste, just a little taste of the people Don Cannon has done production for. Young Jeezy, Lil Scrappy, Cassidy, Ludacris, G-Unit, Asher Roth, The Game, Estill, Maybach Music Group, 2 Chainz. The list goes on and on and on. Wale, obviously Lil Uzi Vert later on, Jack Harlow. He's a beast. Absolute beast. Shout out to you, DJ Don Cannon, representing West Philly. So check this out. From that indictment him and DJ Drama went through to 2013, he was appointed to A&R at Def Jam Records. Amazing. And when I say drama, I don't mean like problems, because I know a lot of people twist words around nowadays. I mean like when they got the door kicked in by the feds. Now, you know 50 Cent wasn't going to miss out on the action. At that time, he helped Freeway produce his second album, Free at Last. But he also created a dope little group called G-Unit Philly. Alright, G-Unit Philly, made up of Mike Knox, what most people have heard, I Vegas, Kodak, and then Tone Trump. Tone Trump made a lot of mixtapes, been buzzing for a while, was in the Creed movie, acting, been very active in the Philly hip-hop scene. So, if you haven't heard of Tone Trump, just Google him. I'm sure you saw him somewhere. And Mike Knox, he been down with 50 forever. And 50 been with him throughout his bid and everything.
Shit because I did it. I'm one step from hell, what doing? All my niggas fellas in weak strap, and we be on that. Back block. Al Kaepernick track, hawking it, effing in these streets. Honey drumming.
In the shooter like Sheik Ali. West Side King, I don't need ID. They killed my little cousin, damn PIP. Peace in paradise. I'm on the block like a pair of dice. I treat these products like a pair of nights. I'm Ramadan sober, I got my bears right. Black Koofy, black Dickie, that's what I wear at night. I did it for the fam, I ain't stingy. My wife won properties, my son won Balenciagas. 2,000 for the jeans. Custom Fendings, so need ass on fire. You ain't on my level, need to come a lot higher. We can ask Trump, he'll tell you I'm a rider. You get laid flat with your brains right beside ya. Yeah, fucking with me, you fucking with Philly. Fuck with Philly, you fucking with me. Can't see me, nigga, I'm too ill. You ball niggas, man, they gon' get it. Hit them little niggas that's running around with it. Switch cheese him, and the running that's Billy. Headshot, but I still pop to the zip. Big on our next flight.
Alright. Those were the 4 members of G-Unit Philly and their respective videos. Check them out. They're all over YouTube. Now we're going to move into this next era. Alright. Now, the DVD era and the YouTube, or I should say the first YouTube era, is starting to come to a close. And people are starting to get really serious about this hip-hop music online thing. And it actually goes to a point where instead of sending your music to the record labels instead of creating a demo and taking it to a record label, you put together some dope shit, whether it's a freestyle, whether it's a music video, whether it's an album, and you put it on YouTube. You put it on World Star Hip Hop, and you'll get signed off of that. So it went from the news laughing at YouTube, not taking YouTube serious, to now even your local news and all the big stations, ABC, NBC, CBS, now they posting stuff on YouTube. It becomes the most watched shit ever. So let's see what happens. Let's say about 2010 till now, because the DVD era is probably 04 to about 10, and in 2010, 2011, it just hip hop just jolts on the internet.